What up, what up, what up, New York Giant Nation? It is your boy, MacDaGiantsFan. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for that true blue aftermath.
You want to be great, you got to work at it, right?
What is going on, New York Giant Nation? It's a final 30-7. Tampa Bay Buccaneers came in here and absolutely trashed the New York Football Giants. Another embarrassing loss on the New York Giants record as of this season, taking the Giants down to 2-9 on the year. Really working their way up to that number one overall pick. What is going on, Daniel Barry? What's going on, Kenneth? Thanks for popping in. I appreciate you guys, man. No doubt indeed, man. Another sad day for New York Football Giants, man. And I just can't figure this team out. To me, it's just disgraceful to watch this team of grown men out on that field play like they do, man. It's just there's no fight. Nobody's even trying anymore. Brian Daboll, he must go. He has lost this locker room. They are not buying in on whatever it is he's saying and whatever he's preaching, man. He's got to go. Take Joe Shane, take these guys, get rid of them. We have to rid ourselves of this cancer. Got rid of the quarterback this week. Yay, everybody's happy. The quarterback's gone. Ding dong, Wicked Witch is dead. Guess what? We got worse. This is the worst we looked all season. This was bad. This was abysmal. We were out of this game in the first quarter. It was over. We didn't even try. No fight. You got Brian Burns with a loose ball just right at his feet, and he's just sitting there with his hands on his hips. We got guys celebrating because they made a little tackle when we're down 30 to fucking nothing. Tyrone Tracy's a young guy, but he's got to secure that football. I appreciate the playmaker he's been, but he's got to be able to secure that football. These are the kind of things that cannot continue to happen. But yet they are continuing to happen. Week in, week out, same old shit. Bring in Tommy DeVito. Oh, he gives us a better chance, I think. Yeah, he's going to give us a spark. He gave us a great spark last year when he came in. Tommy DeVito was butt cheeks today. Butt cheeks. Same old Tommy DeVito. What you know about the guy? He's going to take a lot of sacks. He's not that great. It's the reason why you're a third-string quarterback. There is a reason for that. This team's a joke. What's going on, G-Man? Appreciate you popping in, man. Absolutely what we've been saying, man. This is, like you said, this is Shane's team. They coached by Brian Daboll, but they got to go, man. It's been bad business. Bad business since they took it over, man. Like, that 2022 season couldn't look anything more like a fluke than right now, man. This team is pathetic right now. I mean, there's no way you can tell me that anybody's believing in anything what these guys are talking about, man. Nothing. Joe Shane, after everybody watched Hard Knocks this summer, you look so much like a fool now. I mean, that shit's just blowing up in your face, bro. You look like a complete idiot. And your boy, your friend that you hired to be the head coach, your buddy, guy you go on family vacations with and shit, yeah, that guy, yeah, you need to take his ass right along with you, man. You guys were clearly a mistake. Clearly a mistake. Continuous mistakes that this team continues to make, man. I ain't never seen nothing that stinks the way this New York Giant team stinks right now, man. But it's been absolutely awful. Been absolutely awful It's just for far too long now, man. I mean, the personnel decisions, some of the personnel decisions have just been head-scratching. You look around the league and see what guys you just let walk out the door are doing for other teams. Like I said, got rid of the quarterback. Who you going to blame this week? Who you going to blame now? Can't blame Daniel Jones no more. It wasn't his fault today. It wasn't his fault even a little bit today. So who's it on today? Who is this ass whooping on today? The worst ass whooping you've taken this season. Who is it on today? Who's to blame for this shit? We all know who the blame is. We all know what the problem is. Clearly, the problem is the leadership right now. That shit got to go. Yeah, John Mara, you did speak too soon. You definitely spoke too soon. You should never come out talking about whose job is protected. What you see these guys going week in and week out? How is their job safe? How could you sign off on that shit? You better really look yourself in the mirror and do some soul searching, my man. Because as the owner of this team, it's a responsibility. You have a responsibility to give these fans the best product you can give them. And right now, you ain't been giving them nothing but just absolute nothing. It's been shit. You shouldn't even be charging fans to come sit in those seats no more. You should just be happy that anybody does want to. Saying it all afternoon watching this game. The fans in New York should have just got up collectively and walked out of that stadium and left those seats empty. Because you're giving us an empty product, so they should just give you an empty stadium. It's ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't know. It's so damn frustrating, man. Sitting out here and you just watching this substandard football team play like your offensive game plan. I've seen high schools with better offensive game plans than that, bro. Guys are in the NFL. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous to me, man. Hurts as a fan to watch this product week in and week out. Watch it just continuously get worse. It's like progressionally getting worse. Oh, we got a short week this week coming up against Dallas on Thanksgiving. People are talking about, we're going to beat Dallas on Thanksgiving. Really? At least Dallas tries. Yeah, they might be losing football games, but at least they give effort. I can't say that about the New York Giants right now. I don't see no effort. Mac, if we all honest about it, when they hired you, you can see the mistakes they've all had under half the players playing different positions, talking about versatility. You're right. I agree with that, like especially with the offensive line. You were too busy trying to move guys around so damn much, none of them got good anywhere, except for Andrew Thomas. And now we're still seeing a lot of the same struggles now, once again. Just can't get right. Can't seem to get that right either. All these years. Offensive line's been bad since Eli. Like, he's already up for the Hall of Fame. So that tells you, that means he's been gone for 5 years already. And the old line's been bad for at least his last probably 4 or 5 years before he even retired. And his offensive line's been bad since then. And it still has not been corrected. Sure, it was a little bit better at times earlier in this year, but we're starting to see it's falling back to the same shit that we know it for from the last couple of seasons. Just jailbreaks. This Buccaneers pass rush isn't exactly a vaunted pass rush. They weren't exactly killing it in that department a coming into this game. But they look devastating today against this New York Giant O-line. Said Mara needs to stand on business. What's going on too, by the way, Ghost Dog? Says Mara needs to stand on business. Time to clean house and get ready to lay a better foundation. Exactly. You can't try to continue to build upon this bullshit. You got to start fresh. You got to start somewhere fresh and redo this, man. You got to redo it. You can't come out here with this nonsense still, man. Yeah, I saw that Dallas was like Dallas might get the W on Washington, man. I don't know what's going on with that Washington team, but the bye week couldn't come at a better time for them. Oh no, they're not even on bye next week. I think you still got 2 more weeks to wait for that. But still, Washington is really starting to struggle, man. Really. I'm thinking the Giants have gotten so too far from historic Giants football. Oh yeah, they're not even close. They're not even remotely in back to looking like old school Giants football. What is going on, Deception? Thanks for popping in, bro. I appreciate you, man. No doubt, indeed. Yeah, this is just so disgraceful, man. I just don't know what to say anymore about this, man. Let me pop Miz in, man, because I know he got something he definitely wants to say.
What's up, man?
What is going on, Miz, man? What's up, Imam? Popping in, bro.
I'm all right, brother.
Go ahead, Miz. Let me listen to me for a little bit, man. Go ahead and get it off your chest, Miz. Spit some fire for me.
Oh, man. I was a guy that thought that maybe these guys deserved the opportunity to get their guys since from the day one they had Jones forced on them, honestly. And so I think Dable was never happy here from the get-go because it wasn't his guy. But I'm seeing things that are no good like that. I don't know if he'll come back from like he's not coaching well. I don't know how good of a head coach Dable is or not. I don't know if he's sabotaging and tanking for a QB, or maybe he just don't want to be here no more, or maybe he just can't call an offensive game plan. Maybe he should not be calling the plays. To be realistic, I don't know which one is what, but it's not a good look. It's obviously ugly. And today, this team quit on him and probably has something to do with the way they treated Jones this week. So, in a way, not that it wasn't the right thing to do because the $23 million tag, there's a lot of things that go into all this stuff, but there's some big names out there this year, and Mara really has to start thinking right now before he loses those guys to other teams that he's got a lot to think about, and he better do it quick. That's all.
Well, man, you did hit on something. Like you said, the treatment of Jones this week, it's not about the benching. It wasn't so much about the benching of Jones. It was the after the benching part, the way you handle things after the fact. That scout team safety stuff, man, that's Bush League, man. That there's no way he has any business being out there and being just absolutely humiliated like that in front of his teammates, who a lot of them, like you said, still absolutely love this guy, respect this guy, and they got to see him out there being shamed down to that level. That was the part right there. That was like, where that was just what took everything over the line, man. So got a lot of the other members of the Big Blue crew on here right now, man. Everybody I got a lot to say, man. Big Lou, man. Talk to him, bro.
This team has put on the most embarrassing performance that I've been alive to witness. And I'm 45, man. I've lived through 4 decades where the Giants have won a Super Bowl in every one of those decades. And we are far removed from those days. This organization has taken such a step back that is unbelievable. You got a coach who cannot produce 100 yards of offense no matter who he has as quarterback. A general manager who has let guys go that could have made a difference and has brought guys here from a previous job that have not produced. And, it just looks very, very bad on paper, on film, on the field. It's all around bad. And the mistreatment, the mismanagement, and the embarrassment of players by this regime is uncalled for. It's abhorrent, and it should be done away with. Joe Shane and Brian Dable should not have a job tomorrow morning. Brandon Burns should be promoted to general manager. They should start conducting head coach interviews and get a jump on this before the season is even over, so that we can start establishing a culture and have some semblance of a professional NFL team in the 2025 season.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
I'm with you, Lou. I can't believe what I just witnessed, man. 10 total yards in the first half. Crazy. 245 yards of total offense from a quarterback whisperer or offensive coordinator guru or whatever he is. Can't scheme people open. I didn't see any explosive plays in this game. Throwing the ball downfield, stretching the field, using all parts of the field. Huh?
No, go ahead, sorry.
Okay, yeah. And stretching the ball downfield, seeing none of that. Looked like the same old play calling, vanilla offense. Like I said, whatever we practiced in training camp and all that stuff had people excited about the offense this year has been totally squashed. You don't see none of that. It's almost like it's like a ghost, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a ghost of a what you call it, man. And like I said, and I'm kind of glad Daniel Jones is gone, so that way, everything will be fully exposed. You know what I'm saying? As far as on the offensive side, I'm not worried about the defensive side. Those guys will get it together. But, when you start hearing players talking, former players taking those shots, Wink taking shots, you start to think like, something was going on inside that locker room, and it's still going on. And it's going to be going on for the rest of the season. And even though he gives Shane and Dable a vote of confidence, I don't think one of them is going to be back. And I think Dable won't be back. That's how I look at it. Shane, you probably could work with him as far as get another coach in there who can work with Shane. But Dable, I don't think nobody want to work with Dable. That's the whole thing, man. And it doesn't look good. Can't trust the man. And like I said, like everybody else, do you really trust him to get his own quarterback if he's already alienating players that he already drafted, like Hyatt, Bellinger, Eric Gray, all these guys? These guys, he picked these guys. Theo Johnson, he hardly uses Theo Johnson. So what kind of scheme are you running? Do you have an offense? Did you ever had a scheme? If you never had a scheme, then it's like it's never going to work. And going into the season, if they do decide to bring both of them back, they better hire an offensive coordinator, and they better have an offensive coordinator that can call plays, because Dable can't continue to call the plays next season. If he calls the plays next season again, the Giants going to be back in the same situation they were in this season. They're going to be done.
Hey, Mac, I'm going to join TP Way. I didn't know he was live too, and he by himself. I'm going to go join TP real quick. Okay. I'm going to ask for the link over there. I didn't know he went live too. Didn't leave him by himself.
Yeah.
But just to say something before I get out of here, man. If you don't believe Brian Dable needs to be fired, bro, I don't know what to tell you. But it's bad, bro.
Yeah, that shit is beyond bad.
I think everybody's confused. Everybody's confused.
If you want to come up, Alex, I'll step into the chat. If you want to come up and say a few words, Alex.
Who's that, Miz?
Yeah.
Miz Aroni.
I was here. Listen, put also TP's link. Oh, Pat left. I don't know where to find his link so I can support him.
He'll probably have to put it in the chat.
Maybe he took it personal that I was screaming about Belichick at him.
No, he still don't know where the link is. He ain't figured out where the Big Blue Crew link is to put it in. That's why Pat left to go try to figure it out.
Okay. Yeah, man.
Okay.
Hey,
we're still doing this.
It's not a good look, man.
No, it's not a good look. Hi, Mrs. Miz.
It's not a good look at all, man.
Hey, how you doing?
Mrs. Miz, she's the smartest one. She didn't watch a second of the game today. You see, give her a hand. She knows better. She said, "Why do you still watch this shit?"
But I think a lot of people was tuning in to see if his play calling was going to change with DeVito as a quarterback, and it didn't change because, like I said, we still put up 7 points. It ain't like we put up 28 points today or something like that. That's what people's looking for.
28 points.
The sad part is we only put up 7 points because they basically let us just walk down the field on that touchdown.
Right.
They basically
We
gave
might
us
not
that.
put together 28 points together the whole season. We might not. We might not.
Yeah, man.
Blown out.
Well, hey.
He said, Miz, you in Florida. Go to the pool. Why you watching this ass can team?
Hey, I went in a pool yesterday. It was like 52 degrees. It was great. It was freezing. They thought I was nuts. I am nuts.
Hey, but like I said, at the end of the day, when you look at it, everything just keep pointing back to Dable, man. Wink Martindale ain't here no more. Kafka got stripped of his play calling. Saquon's gone. Daniel's gone now. Next thing you know, he's throwing Bowen under the bus. If he's go, hey, man, there's only one common denominator now.
He's dismantled this team,
That's
bro.
what I was saying before y'all.
This man came in
Daniel
and
Jones is gone.
did the Raiders.
Wasn't Daniel Jones' fault today. Can't blame Daniel Jones for the day. So yeah, it's on Dable, man. Yeah, and I agree, man. I'm not trying to preserve Shane's job either. I'm right there with you, Alex, man. They got to both go, man. Send these jokers out of here. They clowns, man. I mean, Joe Shane played himself as far as I'm concerned. You go back and you watch the Hard Knocks and all that shit, and how he was acting arrogance and how he just thought he was the smartest guy in the room. He had it all under control. I mean, this shit blowing up in his face right now. He look like a total idiot, man. Complete fool. And that's just incompetence that the New York Giants can't have right now. We're never going to get better trying to build upon whatever supposed foundation they've laid. You got to get somebody in there to build a true foundation and get this thing going the right way, man. It just ain't, and it ain't gonna happen with those guys.
I agree with you, E-Man Perry. If the 49ers lose, they giving Daniel Jones a call. And if DJ goes over there, I guarantee you, man, look, that will expose the shit out of Dable and them and Shane.
Damn, Kansas City escapes again with the win. Field goal at the end of the game.
Yeah,
oh man,
always, man. No matter what, these jokers always get by with that.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina played them tough, though. That's what I'm saying. Push them to the limit. Look what we doing.
But this is a venting stream about the Giants. Fuck Carolina. Fuck the New York Giants, too. Until they get rid of Joe Shane and Brian Dable, this shit is the fan base should revolt.
Hey, they got 6 more games, and that's going to keep going downhill.
Oh, Chicago came back.
Chicago came back.
I'm trying to.
Nah, they ain't win, but they in field goal range right now, getting ready to try to tie that shit up with 3 seconds left to go.
Bears scored a touchdown. They recovered the onside kick, and then they completed a 25. Field goal is good. Field goal is good. Going to overtime.
Wow. Well, hey, that's a rivalry game anyway, Bears and Vikings. So
that was my
I can't believe the Texans lost.
Yeah, the Texans to the Chiefs.
This is where we at.
And this is what we always say, man.
On the New York Giants stream, and everything else is better. I'm watching everything. Everybody else is better. Right. I'm watching everything else.
And if you look at a lot of the football games, you only lose by 1 score, man. There's only 1 possession that loses football games. The majority of the time, that's all it comes down to. So these games are close. It's just who makes the plays at the end or get the calls.
Wow.
All right.
This is what we talking about, man.
Yeah, and then the Giants' next game is against the Cowboys, and see how the Cowboys played today. That's probably going to be another loss too. You know what I'm saying? So
Kenneth Perkins, he says, "Did y'all see Shane up in the box looking crazy?"
Oh yeah, absolutely. He was looking like a little sad little puppy dog. But I got a question for the panel, man. Like, how do y'all feel about, since we all now can kind of see with this rookie class of quarterbacks that came out this past year, that Joe Shane passed up on each and every one of them? Mm-hmm. We see what these guys kind of look like they are. How do you feel about them in comparison to what we might get this April with the upcoming class coming out this April? Do you think you'll have a class even maybe equal to the talent? If the Giants can pick up on somebody that we need so desperately?
It's kind of hard to say because you got to wait till near towards the draft and all the combines, see who's going up, who's going down. But as far as like talent wise, like Shador, Cam Ward, Milroe, some of these guys still need time to develop. But I think Sanders and Ward probably like the two for right now. Jackson Dart is good too, but Nussmeier, all these guys, hey, it's gonna be hard to tell, man. But I think last year's class was probably better than this year's. But the class after them is going to be better. That class, the Archie Manning class, is going to be better.
Can't wait that long.
No, I know.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But I'm talking about this class.
I feel like we,
And then
we might have missed out this year.
Yeah, but then somebody's always going to emerge by the end of the season from college football that we wasn't even looking at and stuff like that. That's how it always goes, And people talking about Rourke from Indiana, he didn't look too good yesterday against Ohio State, But
and if you go back and you watch my films, my videos,
huh?
I said we was gonna rock with Daniel Jones again,
right?
Simply because of the math, right? Mm-hmm. They spent $210 million in free agency, and they had just signed him to a deal for $160 million. There was no way they was going to go up and draft a quarterback in the first round because the guaranteed money for that rookie contract would have been like $40 million a year. Mathematically, there was no way the Giants were going to do that. So when I was telling people, yo, we're going to rock with DJ, as bad as people wanted DJ gone, I was like, DJ's going to be here next year. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no way they're going to spend $210 million in free agency, $160 million on the quarterback, and then go spend $40 million a year for 4 years, possibly 5 on a rookie quarterback. They're not going to do that. Not with the salary cap, the way it looked. Mathematically, it didn't make sense. So when I was saying DJ was going to be here, it wasn't that I'm a DJ supporter. I don't own a DJ jersey. I have a Manning jersey. But I was telling people mathematically, it didn't make sense. Money-wise, they're not going to go get a quarterback. And everybody was like, no, they need to go get a quarterback. So my argument was always that mathematically it didn't make sense. They're going to rock with DJ. And they didn't give him a good shot. They never had a fair shake. If you fix the O-line and put some weapons around him, I would like to see what he does. That was always my standpoint. If you go back and watch any of my videos. But Brian Dable and Joe Shane did miss out on some quarterbacks because of the math, the money. They couldn't do it regardless, right? But even if they would have traded up, we'd have had a better quarterback, but Brian Dable's offense would have still sucked. It's been made evident every time DJ's been out. When you had who? Glennon? No, that was Joe Judge. Right? When DJ got hurt last time, it was DeVito that stepped in. Hello?
We're listening.
Yeah,
it was DeVito and Tyrod Taylor, right? Mm-hmm. And with all those different quarterbacks, Dable's offense was still trash. So it makes no sense for them to go be allowed to get a quarterback because they've proven that they can't whisper to a quarterback. They supposed quarterback whisperer, offensive guru. Where's your offense? Where's your whispering?
Mm-hmm. He's being exposed, man. It's getting exposed.
That's why you see E in the background just chilling, listening to y'all. All this was already said. I knew what was happening. I talked about it for years. All I'm doing is getting my just due. That's it. It's just due for me, man. That dude ain't have it the first year because he didn't even call his own plays to win Coach of the Year. So how am I supposed to respect a man who wins Coach of the Year under somebody else's play calling and you can't even get Coach of the Week under your own play calling? He is disgustingly bad, bro. I'm not respecting him. I have no respect for that dude. None.
You said Dable is speaking right now in this press conference.
And that's what I'm waiting to hear. I'm going to be right here waiting.
Yeah, share that shit, Mac.
Yeah, Dallas and Washington just went to final.
Touchdown Dallas on an onside kick. They took it back to the house.
But yeah, like I said,
How you
man.
do that? I don't know how you do that stuff.
Oh, hold on, let me see.
Oh man.
Where's the
Dang. 8-point lead, 34-26.
Dable's opening statement was that Tampa did everything better than us. That's it.
Yeah, no shit.
Fucking
No shit, chill out. Yo, that Cowboy Washington game ending was crazy as hell. Lady Ink Boss is a Cowboys fan.
Yeah. Well, like I said, at least they got 6 more games to see for themselves, man. Where is it?
Well, usually, from my past experience, usually if the players would trying to
share my screen, Mac. Share my screen, Mac.
We do each week. Certainly not, the performance that we set out to have. No question about that. Got to do a better job.
Dave, you've talked about execution all along. Are you concerned with the fight in this team right now? I know what you've seen during the week, but
yeah, no. We got to do things better. But no, I don't question our guys.
You mentioned missed tackles though a bunch of times. The natural inclination is to say, well, missed tackles is an effort thing. What do you say to that?
Yeah, I'd say we missed some tackles. I think guys were giving good effort and missed some tackles. They made us miss. Had some
missing so many tackles if you don't think it's effort. Like what's the other explanation?
Yeah, technique. Give credit to the other guys making us miss, but certainly not good enough.
What's the big move calling the timeouts on that last drive?
Just try to finish the game. Give Tommy an opportunity to finish the game and keep competing.
Tommy did take quite a few big hits, as you mentioned. How do you address that?
Nothing you say makes sense.
Pass protection.
Yeah, well, we'll see why there were, the hits were the hits. We'll take a look at that and, try to correct what we can.
I know Tracy came back into the game. Yeah. Was he out for a punitive situation with him?
Yeah, he turned the ball over, gave Motor some burn and Gray, and then put Tracy back in too.
How big a concern is that with him moving forward? This is now, he had a bunch of troubles.
Yeah, something we gotta continue to stress and work on. But I have a lot of confidence in Tracy, but we can't turn the ball over to the other team.
Do you have concern about your job security after a game like this, or do you feel like you're safe and can coach out this season no matter the results?
Yeah, I just I feel for the guys that go out there and play, and the result that we had today, and focus on getting better for the next week.
How much do you even consider that? How much does that even go through your head when you have performances like this?
Yeah, the only thing that goes is how we're going to make it better.
He asked him about his job security. He said, I feel for the guys.
Right, he bypassed that.
Well, that sound from head coach Brian Dable is brought to you by the local Ford dealers. Ford is proud to be official truck of the New York Giants. Back on Giants postgame live, Madeline Burke, Amani Toomer, and Carl Banks. And as we heard,
said I feel for the guys because I'm not going nowhere and I'm fucking their careers up.
Lost to the Buccaneers. Of course, emphasizing the missed tackles.
Facts.
You touched
Big
on that
facts,
in our
yo.
last segment. But tackling, it's one of those things. How do you get that to improve for a team?
It's an effort. It's an individual effort. And,
Right.
We put so much emphasis on players and their athleticism, and you miss the key parts of what is important to football. And defensively, it's tackling. It's a physical game. You got to be able to get people to the ground. You can win a foot race, but you need to tackle on defense. And so it's an individual effort. Every guy has got to do it. I mean, you can't practice it. You either know you want to do it or you don't want to do it. And, they have too many missed tackles. just simple as that. And it's not that hard. If you get a lot of guys to the football, it makes it easier on the initial guy. But it is what it is, folks.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like the whole approach by Ryan Dable. I just like that he didn't give any excuses. He wouldn't let anything about Daniel Jones or the stuff that's upheaval going on in the organization. He just took it right on the chin. You got to do better. I got to coach better. That's what you want to hear from a coach.
Sure.
You know, no excuses, you know, no finger pointing. And I just feel like that's something you can build upon. That
was the biggest coon shit I ever heard, Amani Tuma.
That's the same thing he said every time.
Where everything is down, and
Word.
everybody's looking around.
That was the biggest coon shit I ever heard.
Company answers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and you want to have that accountability of like, hey, everyone, you're pointing more thumbs than fingers in that space right there. Carl Banks,
Bitch,
thanks so
please.
much for your contribution this
But
week. We'll see
Lou
you
was
next
right.
time.
They asked about his job security.
Monty Toomer
He
and
said,
I
I
will
feel
be
for the
back
players.
with more. Hey, it's cold out here. No, you can't be throwing shade.
Yeah, put a little lotion on.
This shit is crazy, bro.
Yo,
enough of that shit.
that's crazy, man. That shit is sad, bro. That shit is sad.
That was a company answer if I ever heard one.
Yo, first of all,
bro.
That's
first
crazy.
of all, Brian Dable avoided the question, and then they trying to pad the stats, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Cover up for him. Yeah, I like that he took it on the chin. Pause. Fuck that shit. He avoided the question completely.
I know.
Like,
He didn't answer it. He didn't answer it. He should just I feel
He
safe.
said, I feel sorry for the guys.
Right.
That was his answer. I feel sorry for the guys, you know. Yo. I feel sorry for the guys that's not going to be here, that's been putting in work, because I'm still going to be here, and they're going to have to go on and struggle in certain instances and aspects for their career moving forward. But I'm the actual blame, but they're going to get the problem. It's going to look like it's them, because they're not going to be actually absolved. I am. That's what he should have said.
I gotta go get something to eat, man. I'm so fucking. I can't watch football for a minute. I gotta go and get me something to eat and clear my mind for a minute. So I'm gonna tap out, man. But you guys make sure you subscribe to Mac the Giants fan, man. Make sure you go subscribe to the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. You heard? And everybody up here, Miz in the midday, Man Cave, Escott. You know what I'm saying? Even either chosen one over there from Shakedown Media. We need to go shake down Mara and make him get rid of this fucking regime. I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. Make sure y'all subscribe, though. You heard?
Peace, Lou.
Peace, Lou.
Yeah, man.
Yo, that's crazy, fellas. That's literally crazy, man. What we just heard from the coach of the New York Football Giants and a 30-7 crushing. That's what he said. So, do you feel your job security? Is there any other problem? Well, I feel sorry for the guys.
Right. That's one of the worst answers I've ever heard.
Wow.
This dude, like I said, they talk about he takes responsibility. He takes no responsibility. What are you talking about? He only says like, I gotta do better coaching. I gotta do. He says that all the time, though. He says it all the time. Ain't like this is his first time saying it. But hey, like I said,
that's not
the way they look at it.
Responsibility, like you said, that's just saying the same old stuff you say every week, man. Same old shit.
And like
At least one thing he said this week, right? And he said we'll go back and watch the tape. Because what you saw on film is not what you're going to be reviewing.
I mean, it's kind of crazy because, you know, they got 6 games left, you know, and they're going to be back because if there's a new regime coming in, they got rid of them. So they could get the new regime in here to analyze these guys, these last 6 games, but these guys are coming back. So my whole thing is you come back, what is going to change in the offseason? Are they going to get a new offensive play coordinator? They're going to have a different game plan, but it's like, what is Dable coming up with? What type of schemes he's coming up with, even if you get new players? Because if you're getting these players, these are the players that you're bringing in, even if you're not even coaching them up or developing them, it's not going to work, bro.
Let me say this, my brothers, and I want you guys to really, really be, just pay attention to this. We are all Deion Sanders, right? We're all just Deion Sanders, all of us. Our son, possibly the number 1 pick in the draft, possibly could be the number 1 team the New York Giants? Are we really okay with our son playing for this right here next year?
Well, I'll tell you
We're
what.
good with that?
Listen, I'll tell you what. If he comes here and it's the same thing, they're gonna get Dable out of here. He'll force him to get him and Neighbors will force him to get him out of here as coach. If it comes back and it's the same thing happening, they're gonna force him out. They ain't gonna trade the players. They'll get rid of the coach fast.
The question is, you have to be okay with your son being brought in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to look at, see, Deion Sanders is not us. He actually has way more analytical insight and also understanding of something we don't have, which is the quirks, nuances, and way the machines are built within an organization. So he can get the first ear on chaos if that's taking place within an organization before we will. He'll get the first take on locker room. He'll get the first take on the way people think about the coaches. He gets all of that up front while we just do our educational guessage, which turn into actual facts because we have football IQs. But he gets all of that firsthand. So if he gets firsthand information from the sources, you don't think he's smart enough to know exactly what he's doing and saying? Because he's been talking about his son not playing for a cold weather team. He's been talking about his son not playing for an organization that's developing a quarterback. He's been saying all the things that the New York Giants are not in the last 2 weeks.
I'm gonna say this. You talk about the cold weather teams. The only reason why he's saying
All that.
the only reason he's saying the cold weather team because it's New York teams. Because his son plays in Colorado. He's been playing for 2 years in the cold.
This is my point. This is my point, Kate.
He don't want to go to the Giants or the Jets. So that's why he's saying
Or the Jets.
cold
So
weather
he's not
team.
with it. Right.
That's what he's
And then he
saying.
says something about the development of quarterbacks. Which quarterbacks have been developed here outside of Eli Manning, who was under Tom Coughlin, right? Since then, what quarterbacks have been developed in over there with the green team?
And that's the whole thing, though. He's had enough time to develop players because DeVito and Locke are reclamation project. You could develop those guys. So if you're not developing them, that shows you're not really developing these guys. You know, they're not really good quarterbacks because it's different. You already have good quarterback, but if you got a quarterback who needs to be developed and you're not developing, that shows you're not really a developer, though. You don't.
I'm okay with my son rocking here. I'm okay with my son, my quarterback son, who I'm going to protect regardless as a father and as an agent and as a professional and as a former player and as prime time legacy. All that's involved when it comes down to Shedeur Sanders. All that has to mean something. He is going to be the first son of all his sons that goes to the NFL in his lineage. He's not going to allow his son to go through anything that he has went through, fought through, and claimed victory in as a father. Remember when he was in the NFL, things was much tougher. There was no social media, and the grit, the grind, and the fight was much, much more different. He's not going to let his son go through that. And this organization presents many more problems for a quarterback and a son of Deion Sanders than 90% of the other organizations in the NFL. I guarantee you he gets involved.
Yeah.
I mean, I could definitely see it. I could definitely see that. I mean, it just. Right now, realistically, just from what you know from, he's got an insider's perspective as well, Deion. I mean, obviously, a lot of connections. Everybody can see we can all see this New York Giant organization right now. That ain't nowhere I think a lot of players really want to be right now until some serious changes are made. And that's what I mean. You got to rip the Band-Aid off. You can't think you can still build with Daboll and Shane here. I just think there's just no way. I think it's been stained too bad now, where it's just nobody's can come in and taking those guys seriously. So I think it starts there. I think Marin's got to grow a pair and do what he's got to do.
Or do you see a thing where we have the first pick, and let's say they want Shador, but he don't want to come? Do you see a pick where we have to trade the first pick? Let's say the Raiders have the third pick. He wants to go there. We trade to the Raiders with the third pick, and then we get a haul. You know what I'm saying? And then we still pick Cam Ward with the third pick if something happens.
I mean, I can see that, something like that.
Because those are scenarios that we have to be looking at. If this has come down to where the Giants have the first pick and you already hearing whispers you don't want to go, you see, you're going to have to be looking at all these different type of scenarios. You see what I'm saying? This is where Shane and these guys have to do their homework. You know what I'm saying? They're giving you a heads up.
Hey.
And they know more than we know. You know what I'm saying? And we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, so they should know all this stuff. So they should be already having these things figured out, what they're going to be at, the packages they're going to be asking for.
I mean, that's similar to the Eli Manning draft day. I mean, when they drafted Phillip, Giants drafted Phillip Rivers. They drafted him for the Chargers. They already had that shit was already set up. You know, they knew what they picked for the Chargers, and then switched the players, swapped the players.
So, the thing about it is this: we sitting here doing all this great work mentally and GMing because we know what time it is, and come the fuck around, and we may not even be in the draft position that we think we want to be in because other teams are losing out more than we are.
I mean,
and these other guys we don't know who's on the draft board for these other losing teams. And I guarantee you something. If Shador Sanders is number one in another team's mind and they are number one on the board, we can forget all about that other shit. He's gone. And if Cam Ward is the guy for another team on their board, he's gone too. So let's start that Dylan Gabriel, Carson Beck, Jackson Dart shit right now because they're going to be gone. And I'm telling you right now, if Vegas is anywhere near one of the teams at the top of the board, you can count one of them guys going. And if the Jets is anywhere near the top of the board, you can count another one going too. So we can sit here and do all this GMing, but let one of them two other teams be ahead of us and we be 3 or 4. Shit's over.
The only teams with 2 wins on the season is the Giants, the Jaguars, and the Raiders right now.
This is my point. This is my point.
So if we lose out, let's say we lose out because of how bad our team is, we're not in the two like so we'll be one of the top 3. Because I think the Jaguars going to win because they played the 2 times. They play, I forgot what team they play like 2 times. So they have a
Titans. The Titans twice.
Oh well, then the Titans are competitive after today. It looks very competitive, so that might not even be anymore, a winnable game. So it's the
most
Raiders.
likely they split. Most likely, I mean, so. Most likely they would split. I would, if you were a betting man, most likely. They would split.
And then I'm looking at the Raiders schedule. They got the Chiefs, Buccaneers, Falcons, Jaguars, Saints, and Chargers.
Yeah.
So the only game they
all
could possibly
losable games.
Jaguars is the only Jaguars is the only one. These other teams are going to be playing for a playoff spot probably, so they're going to win those games. So
and you don't know who you're going to get when it comes to the Jaguars.
Oh, but that's the thing. The Jaguars and the Raiders, they both have 2 wins, so somebody's going to have to win that game. So somebody's
going to tell you right now, the Panther, it looks cool, but don't get it twisted. Yeah, right. but somebody's going to do something stupid, man. No, remember he said it right here first.
Like I said, that Jacksonville Raiders game going to be a big game because one of them teams got to win that game. Neither one wants to win, but somebody's going to have to win the game. So
just our luck, that shit end in a tie.
Oh, don't say it's in the top. 0-0. He said 0-0. This is crazy, man. I never think we like 2 wins on the season, bro.
Remember, fellas, when games end in ties,
no more, though.
When games end in ties, fellas, they go to the point system after that.
Yes, they do.
We're definitely going to be last ranked when they do that.
Yeah. But like I said, and when all said and done, I think we're gonna be having number 1 or 2, either 1 or 2, man, because we ain't winning no more games, man.
I can't see it. Not what I saw today. I can't even think that we can win another game against anybody we playing against. I mean, we got
that shit was easy work for the Bucs. That shit was easy work for the Bucs. They didn't work nobody. They didn't play tough. Baker Mayfield was standing up the whole game. He was comfortable.
Yep.
I mean, look at the rest of the schedule. I don't see another W. I don't see where it's coming from.
Yeah, I mean, because the Cowboys
everybody on our schedule is definitely better than us. I mean, everybody else on our schedule is definitely better than the Giants.
Because the only two on there was going to be the Colts game, and the Colts look like the Colts could win that game.
I mean, the Colts and the Saints. I mean, the Saints is, but I mean, these teams, I just can't see it. Because those guys, like I said, like one thing I can say about all those teams is that at least you see effort on the field from those squads. They might not get the results that they want week in and week out, but you see effort that I just don't see with this New York Giants team.
And if you put up more than 17 points against us, you're gonna win. So there it is. If you can score 17 or 20 points, you're gonna win the game.
At this point, if you can score 8 points.
Oh man.
He said this is a nightmare season turning even more of a nightmare.
Kenneth, man, I think at this point, bro, I need some experience, man, in the positions. I need a guy like we need like definitely a guy like a Mike Vrabel type of guy, somebody with some seasoning on him, to come in, somebody that just has a little bit of credibility, somebody that can come in and get the respect of this locker room and win the respect of this locker room over. I'm not saying Eric Bieniemy couldn't do that, but I just, you know what I mean, he hasn't had an opportunity as a head coach. I haven't seen what that looks like. And you know, I mean, honestly,
only thing that will make this organization. Oh no, go ahead, brother. I'm listening to you, good brother.
Now you look at that scenario. What if you had a scenario? What if you had a scenario? Louis Riddick being the GM and Brian Flores the coach.
No, I'm gonna tell you what the perfect scenario is for us, and nobody thinks about it. Eric DeCosta, even though I know he ain't going nowhere from the Ravens, right?
The GM.
Mike Vrabel is the head coach.
Yeah.
And Gus Johnson is the OC, although he's going to be a head coach. And if not Gus Johnson, we take the kid from Oregon, Will Stein. DeCosta, Vrabel, Will Stein. That'll fix this whole entire shit.
Mm-hmm. Different scenarios.
I mean, that sounds like a plan. I guess something just has to give. Something has to change, man. This team is. said Neighbors post game was crazy.
I didn't even see the post game on Neighbors. I'm pretty sure it was. He's probably gonna say he was open all the time. So
I need to see that, man. What he talking crazy?
I guess he is. You probably gonna see it on Twitter. Somebody gonna post it on Twitter or something like that. And see what he's saying. And I'm pretty sure he's gonna say he was open. I'm pretty sure he's gonna say that.
Let me go do some investigating. I'll be back, fellas. Yo, Mac, thanks for having me on. I love you much, brother.
Oh no, yeah, I'm probably gonna wrap up in the next few minutes or so, man. Because
I'm gonna go see what he's talking about.
About all of this.
Yeah,
get back into some more football.
Yeah, you know, on the Big Blue Crew, they're doing what's that? The 49ers and Packers. Yeah, they're doing 49ers and Packers. Yeah, man. But football in New York, man. Even the Jets are going through some crazy thing. I'm hearing Aaron Rodgers talking about he might not be back. I was like, oh, man, y'all just got Devontae Adams, and now you're gonna be out again, bro. What's going on with you guys? It's a mess in New York. Football is a mess in New York, man.
It is. Oh, it is bad, man.
I'm thinking we was going to be on the right path like a couple of years ago. We was on the right path. GM, coach. I'm like, okay, we like turn this thing around. It's like, man, we right back in the same situation.
Yep.
Oh, he said Neighbors
thought it was going to be headed in the right direction.
He said Neighbors said it ain't the QB. It's not the QB's fault. Post game, Neighbors post game. He said it ain't the QB. It ain't the QB. Like the problems with the Giants. I guess they're trying to ask him what was the problems with the Giants. He's like, it's not the QB, so it wasn't the quarterback situation. It's a whole everything. It's a whole bunch of other things. It's everything. Everything is just a whole everything. Defense, offense, special teams is everything. It's not just one problem. But you know how people gonna pick and choose out of what he said and just try to drive it home and try to make something out of it to get ratings and stuff like that. Because you'll see it posted on Twitter now.
You know they will. Clickbait. You know they will, man.
Yes, sir.
For sure. But yeah, I guess, man, look, this team is depressing. I'm going to try to watch some good football for a little bit, man.
Okay, man.
So I appreciate you coming through, man. No doubt, man.
No problem. Anytime.
Appreciate it, man. I do it every Sunday after the game, man.
Oh yeah, I'll be every Sunday after the game, bro. We do it. But it's gonna be depressing after every game. Now it's gonna be depressing. It's crazy, bro. It's one thing is like there's the opposite where the Giants are doing some work, then you be like, yeah, you could have them. But when it's like this every game, man, it's like how worse can it get? You know what I'm saying? You think you hit rock bottom, but it gets worse and worse.
Every time, man. Every time you think you can't get nothing no worse, they find a way to get worse. So
of course, man.
But definitely, man. I appreciate you once again for stopping in, hanging out, and I appreciate y'all, everybody in the chat who's out in the chat, man. Definitely showing up, pulling up to the aftermath. Make sure y'all sub up to the Big Blue Crew Sports Network, man.
Yes,
Keep
sir.
supporting the movement, man. Big Blue Crew Sports Network, bringing it to you from every angle, man. Football, basketball, baseball, wrestling, boxing, MMA, man. Got it all.
Soccer, wrestling, everything. We got it all for you guys.
Word, no doubt, man. So make sure y'all pull up, make sure y'all sub up, and make sure y'all like, man. And I'll be back next week once again, immediately following the Giants and it's on Thanksgiving this week.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess I'll pull up after that too, man, on Thanksgiving, man, for the Cowboys game on Thursday. But
okay,
appreciate y'all, boy, Mac the Giants fan, man.
Peace.
I'd like to thank you all for listening. If you was feeling this, please take time to subscribe and smack them likes. Feel free to drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to ring that bell so you know when I'm dropping new content. It's your boy, Mac the Giants fan. You can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at Mac the Giants fan. That's MACDA Giants fan.